Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I want to remind you, there are a lot of people, including myself, who have done really well in crypto since about 2018-19 by having their crypto in an iTrustCapital IRA. They've been one of my partners ever since then. I created a Roth IRA and then later did a SEP IRA for my business, and this is the way. I mean, it's the ultimate power move I've ever done in crypto. And I accumulated XRP in there. I've had it sitting there, never worry about it because it's in institutional grade custody. These guys have their stuff together. And now, and a lot of what went on in 2018, 19, and then 2020, 21 is there were people being laid off. And some of those people rolled their 401ks into an iTrustCapital IRA and got crypto in there. It's like one of the coolest things you can do in crypto and has been for a while. So there's layoffs piling up right now. Here's some of the companies that have laid off recently. So something to think about for, you can talk to the guys at iTrustCapital about it. Go to itrustcapital.com/XRP Army. And you can get a $100 funding bonus. You don't have to be rolling over a 401k. You can just create an IRA there. The Roth IRA is the magic pill, in my opinion. But you can talk to them about it. And you get your $100 funding bonus, by the way. All right, we've got XRP yesterday. I think had gotten up to about 227-ish. We're right at 219, 220 right now. This market looks to be, because Bitcoin's up a little bit, this market looks to be revving the engines this morning. Double-digit gains across the board for XRP ETFs. This is what happened yesterday. It was a really good day for Franklin Templeton and Grayscale. Also a really good day for Bitwise from what I saw. Here is this is Cody Carbone. Now imagine a world where you can pay your taxes with your XRP and you don't ever have to sell it.
See this at the state level as well. I mean, we've already talked about the municipal bonds in New Hampshire. I think you're going to see more states start to replicate this. Can you pay your state and local taxes through Bitcoin, through XRP, through Ethereum? I think this is going to be, it's a copycat government system. Well, it'll be huge.
Okay, so, all right.
Okay. That is going to be interesting. Now, this right here is, what's his name? Hold on. Come on. Zach, he's the head of research for Grayscale. Listen to this. They're the ones that launched one of the ETFs yesterday.
XRP, a battle-tested blockchain, originally designed for payments use cases, but broadening to other use cases today, one of the largest and most liquid assets in crypto. I think there will be significant demand for these ETF products.
He was right. Now, this is important because what Kathy Wood's talking about here is the return of liquidity. If you remember during COVID, and look, here's what we're looking at. We've got lowering interest rates. You got a bunch of things. You got interest rates that are supposed to be lowered. You've got a potential end of the war in Ukraine. You got a potential U.S.-China trade deal. And then you got all these ETFs rolling out. You got legislation coming. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Then you got those $2,000 checks that Trump's about to send out in 2026. This thing, you're going to see liquidity, and when you do, it's going to get exciting, and it's coming.
Maybe it would become half the market cap of gold. It would take some share from gold or maybe expand the market. Well, that market has doubled. So I don't think our bull price should change all that much. And I probably should have been quicker to say all things equal on CNBC the other day. So I just wanted to clarify that. We are very bullish on crypto assets, but we know that they are they are the most susceptible to liquidity drawdowns. And I described earlier, we have a number of reasons for liquidity drawdowns now, but we think that they will be cleared by the end of the year. And hopefully by December 10th, when the Fed eases. And hopefully when government statistics come back and we get the employment report in early December, which is the next time that I will have the pleasure of doing In the Know. So hopefully we're in the clear by then, and the bull market that we believe is firmly in place will continue apace.
Okay, now here's Charles. This is Charles Hoskinson talking about Brad Garlinghouse. This is an interesting clip.
I think the hardest working person on the Clarity Act was Brad. He was in D.C. pretty much every day, talking to people every day, eating with the president, doing all kinds of things. I keep running into him. I say, "Hey,
we're talking about Brad Garlinghouse, correct? For clarity."
Yes, that's correct. He's one of the hardest working guys.
We'd like to hear that. Now, this is an interesting clip. Charles Hoskinson is talking about the way crypto's been for all these years and still is. And he's right.
That when your funds get stolen, you have no rights. When you lose things, fuck you, it's your fault. Everything's a scam. Just be the first person to scam and you'll make some money. Expect high yields until you don't, in which case you're the sucker. But don't worry, another coin's being launched and it has a 85% insider distribution with a bunch of VCs behind it. But it's got shiny marketing, so you just have to buy it. That's what we're offering them. And don't worry, institutions have come in and they'll save us, except for the times they won't, because they're manipulating the markets and they can short sell and do all kinds of fucked up things better than you've ever believed, because they've been doing it for over 100 years. And they're smarter than us and richer than us. And then you ask, gosh, why aren't these people flooding into the industry? Why are we just not having more people buy our dumped shit? Do I have to spell it out for you? Is it not honest? Obviously honest for you?
He's mad. Now, by the way, he's right about all of that, the manipulation and all that. It continues to go on. But there's a simple, this isn't difficult, folks. I've been here since 2014-ish. And I'm in the group today. I'm going to give you the playbook. It's very simple. This isn't hard to figure out. It's common sense. All this trading business and crypto to me has always been silly. As long as you are in this for the long term and you understand what you hold and you've done your research on it, it's easy to make money, but nothing happens overnight. I'll show you the playbook in the group today. Very easy. Look at this CME group. Good things come in small packages. Our new spot quoted XRP and SOL futures are arriving on December 15th, pending regulatory review. Trade the spot price you see on the screen with low margin and capital efficiency. Here's Hunter Horsley from Bitwise. Bitwise XRP ETF brings XRP into a brokerage account. $118 million in inflows last week. Grateful to investors. Then we had this from Franklin Templeton yesterday. Let's give you the key line. Within the diversified digital portfolio, we view XRP as a foundational building block. XRP-Z provides regulated custody, daily transparency, liquidity without the operational complexity of holding a token directly. Then we had this clown. This is the guy who's the, let me get the right title here. Well, can I pull it up? Here it is. Head of Digital Assets Research at Van Eck. And he's replying to that comment by Franklin Templeton. How foundational can it be if BlackRock and Van Eck both say nah? So I did a little AI grok on Van Eck versus Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton is 12 times larger than Van Eck. And these are all the stats. They manage 1.69 trillion versus Van Eck's 132.9 billion. So I think Franklin Templeton might be who I'll listen to in this case. But this guy has to be Jan Van Eck, this is the guy who runs Van Eck. Has to be his little brother or his brother-in-law or something, folks. How he still has his job blows my mind. Used to, this kind of stuff didn't go on. Used to, the CEO of Van Eck would call this guy up and say, shut your freaking mouth. We've got a free market here. We could be launching an XRP ETF at some point. Don't be a moron. And then if he kept talking, he'd get his walking papers. That's how the world works. Now, all these Bitcoin maxis that are so mad about Ethereum, I mean, not about Ethereum, they're mad about JP Morgan attacking MicroStrategy. And I retweeted it and I said, JP Morgan is Ethereum. You guys don't realize who your enemy is, or you don't want to admit it. Cowboy Crypto backs me up. Even before the very first block on Ethereum was mined, a consensus was formed. We've collaborated with JP Morgan on Ethereum proofs of concept and production systems. I mean,
okay, so let's talk about the risk that these larger banks have with decentralized networks and with blockchain. So the big banks depend on deposits, right? Deposits with duration, so they can have some understanding of the reliability of those assets being within their institution. So they can lend those assets via mortgages or various other lending arrangements, and they can make that spread. Okay, now when you have the blockchain where it's a decentralized system and everyone can control their own wallets and they can move assets 24/7, that compromises the bank's business models. And so they feel threatened by this blockchain concept, by Bitcoin generally, and if they can break the thesis in Bitcoin, then their business is more secure. And what you're seeing lately is banks like JP Morgan launching their own blockchains, but they're not decentralized networks. They're essentially centralized networks where JP Morgan or whatever bank would control that blockchain. They would use that blockchain as a tool as opposed to what it was developed as, which is a decentralized network.
Let me tell you what they would do. What they would do is they would disguise themselves as being whales in the Ethereum ICO so that they could give the presentation of this decentralized network and pretend like it was distributed to all these people, but they hide their ownership of Ethereum. They hide the fact that they were at Ethereum before the public mainnet even launched. Fast forward to today, and you're hidden behind a blockchain that is promoted as being decentralized and this decentralized, what did Joseph Lubin say, maximum decentralization? You've yelled it from the rooftops for years, and it just ain't so. That's how you would do it. And I'm surprised these Bitcoin maxis haven't locked on to it. We tried to tell them for years during ETHgate. Wealth managers are going to buy hundreds of billions of crypto for their clients. It's going to take time, and that's fine. U.S. financial advisors oversee roughly $30 trillion in client assets. All right, we're in DAIXRP.com. I'm going to spell it out for you and show you. It's a very simple XRP playbook. I've followed it for years and years and years. It's easy. This is not a hard game, but you can't be short-sighted and have a short-term outlook on things. This survives the test of time. We're in a moment right now where people have an opportunity that you won't see in your lifetime again with this crypto. You don't see the birth of a new asset class except once every 100 or 200 years. It doesn't happen. But this is not just the birth of an asset class, it's the birth of the asset class that's going to swallow and tokenize all other asset classes. And that's the fact, Jack. Go to DAIXRP.com for the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos, or you can join through X, hit subscribe. We do the full video and the extended video with no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family. Here we go.